Live from WTVO 17 and your home team, Eyewitness News at 5 starts now.
A Rockford woman's accused of allowing prostitution to take place in her small business. We'll tell you how long she'll spend time in jail.
For the first time in nearly 20 years, the FDA approves a new drug to treat Alzheimer's. Some people worry the okay may have come too soon.
It's posted no swimming all along this shoreline, and we do that because it is for safety reasons.
Park District police officers say you should think twice before diving into the water. Tips on playing it safe this summer. Good evening, I'm Mimi Murphy.
I'm Eric Wilson. The Rockford lingerie store owner linked to a 2019 prostitution sting is sentenced to 6 months in jail.
Peggy Smith owned Chantilly Lace on 7th Street. She faced 12 counts of promoting a place of prostitution and pleaded guilty to 1 count this morning. Smith will serve 180 days in jail, followed by 30 months conditional discharge. Chantilly Lace and the exclusive lingerie boutique were shut down after a lengthy police investigation. Arrest warrants were issued for 27 men in 3 states. Rockford police say 3 separate incidents left 3 people hurt Sunday. The first happened around 1:30 in the morning at the Citgo gas station on Auburn Street. Officers found spent shell casings and a pool of blood on the ground. Investigators say around that time, a 29-year-old man showed up at a hospital with multiple gunshot wounds. He is expected to be okay. Witnesses say the man was standing outside a car at the gas station when a white sedan pulled up and opened fire. The next call came in around 3:30 in the afternoon. Police were dispatched to Whitman Street, where they say a physical fight escalated and shots rang out. 1 man was hit but was not hurt. Then around 11:35 p.m., police were called to a local hospital for a stabbing victim. The 23-year-old was nicked in the shoulder. Investigators say the victim was uncooperative during the investigation.
A shooting in Beloit leaves 1 man dead. This happened just before 11:30 this morning. Police found that man shot in the upper body at a home on Porter Avenue. He died at the hospital. Investigators haven't released his name. They're still processing the scene and interviewing witnesses. The Beloit Police Department believes the victim was targeted. We've got new information about a deadly crash that took place last week in Rock County. Investigators say 85-year-old Janice Mickelson of Beloit was driving near Prairie Avenue and Murphy Woods Road Thursday when the crash happened. Mickelson died at the hospital. That crash is still being investigated. A Rochelle man is dead after being pulled from the water at a Madison, Wisconsin swim race. This happened Saturday during the Big Swell swim on Lake Monona. Investigators say Michael Hahn was swimming when another athlete noticed Hahn lose consciousness. Lifeguards used a boat to get to him and performed CPR while taking him to shore. Hahn died at the hospital. The Dane County Medical Examiner completed an autopsy Sunday. The cause of death has not been released.
A violent weekend ends with more than 50 people shot in Chicago and 5 lives lost. One incident involved a car pulling over on the city's south side and opening fire on a group standing on the sidewalk. 8 people were sent to the hospital. Community activist Andrew Holmes works to combat violent crimes. He says enough is enough. He's calling on the Biden administration to step in and do more to curb the gun violence sweeping across the city and the country.
We need money for mental health. We need money for families to work. And absolutely, we need them to come out on the streets here. You know, you fly that Air Force One over there to take care of people overseas and don't take care of the United States, don't take care of Chicago.
Holmes also called on Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot to ramp up safety efforts.
Winnebago County tax bills had to be postmarked Friday, but some property owners are worried their checks may not make it. Those owners blame the USPS.
The county treasurer says her office has been having problems with the post office. Rachel Perry talked with her about the issues.
That's right, Mimi and Eric. The Winnebago County treasurer says the only issue is getting worse. She tells me some tax forms mailed out months ago never arrived.
It's taking weeks now to get anywhere.
Susan Gorel is the Winnebago County treasurer. She says USPS continues to stamp mail with the word vacant, letting it sit at the post office or return to her.
This year, for some reason, there's an awful lot of people that call and say they never got it, but yet it's all been correctly addressed.
Her office sends out tax bills to every resident in the county twice a year. She says they're addressed to the correct place, but still aren't being delivered.
Expect that the bills to go out to the premises. or the address that they were addressed to. I don't expect them to be in the post office, stamped and then sent back to me.
But Gorel says the same thing is happening on her end. She isn't receiving taxpayer checks, sometimes until weeks later.
People have been mailing their bills, and it's taking forever to get here. Like the one I told you about that was in the middle of May, and it just processed today. It should be just a couple of days.
Her complaints, she says, continue to go unresolved, and says USPS hasn't said if it will be fixed.
It's basically, this is how it is. My mail carrier that comes in here is apologetic, but to call the main office, this is how it is.
I reached out to the post office to comment on the recent issues, but have not heard back. Eric?
Thank you, Rachel. A fight over politicians' paychecks could go all the way to the Illinois Supreme Court. A former House Republican filed a class action lawsuit that could cost taxpayers millions of dollars. Controller Susana Mendoza still hasn't cut the checks for former Senate Democrats James Claiborne and Mike Nolan. She filed an appeal on that case, but now the new suit from former House Republican Mike Fortner says the budgets the state passed are void because the Constitution says you can't change a lawmaker's salary during the middle of their term.
It's just so shameful, and I'm so disappointed, especially coming from an individual who used to portray himself as fiscally responsible, one of supposedly the smartest members in the chamber during his tenure, who knew exactly what he was doing when he voted time after time to not take that raise.
This isn't the first time former legislators took a fight over their paycheck to court. Two former Senate Democrats won a court battle. A judge ruled in their favor and said they're entitled to pay raises even though they voted against them.
The Supreme Court declined to hear a case that questions if it's constitutional for the government to only require men to register for the military draft. The High Court is leaving it up to Congress for now to decide if it wants to change the rule. That's because Congress is already reviewing the policy. The last time there was a draft was during the Vietnam War. The military has been all volunteer since. Women's groups say it's harmful to allow the male-only requirement to stand. The FDA announced the approval of a drug for early-stage Alzheimer's patients, despite controversy of the drug's mixed clinical trial results. The Biogen drug is called aducanumab. It works to remove sticky deposits of protein from the brain to help fight off memory loss, but it's also believed to cause problems to some patients' brain function. The antibody treatment is a monthly IV infusion, but in 2 major trials, results were conflicting. Some neurologists called it effective. Others say more proof is needed due to inconsistent test results.
With heat and humidity in full force, it can be tempting to jump in the water as a quick way to cool off, but local police officers warn some places are off limits. It is illegal to swim in the Rock River in Rockford. That's why Rockford Park District police officers patrol Shorewood Park and Levings Lake, making sure no one gets hurt. Detectives say swimming in open water can be dangerous due to the river currents.
It's for your own safety. We ask that you please not come down here and get in the water. It is very treacherous. It is not safe. So again, we care about your safety, and that's why we're here today.
The Park District says the best places to stay cool and play it safe this summer include local spray pads, pools, and the Carlson Ice Arena.
The vice president makes her first trip abroad since taking office.
Her mission, address the surge of migrants at our southern border. Coming up, a new agreement looks to target the root causes of the emergency.
And a Rockford man proves he still has the winning touch in NASCAR. Later in sports, out of the pit box, Scott Leber shows us where Chad Knaus is leaving his mark.
Cloud cover for us this afternoon, and the rain kept our temperatures below that 90-degree mark, but the humidity going up. We'll look at how long these humid conditions last, and more on the rain showers tonight coming up in your most trusted forecast a little later.
You're watching Eyewitness News, your home team, with Eric Wilson, Mimi Murphy, Sports Director Scott Leber, and Chief Meteorologist Candice King.
Vice President Kamala Harris makes her first international trip to Guatemala. She was there to discuss the spike in immigration at the U.S.-Mexico border.
President Biden tasked Harris with addressing the root causes of the growing problem back in March. Our Washington correspondent Raquel Martin is keeping you connected to the nation's capital.
We have to follow the money, and we have to stop it.
Monday, Vice President Kamala Harris announced the Department of Justice, Treasury, and the State Department will be working with law enforcement in Guatemala to try and combat the flow of Central American migrants to the United States.
We will look to root out corruption wherever it exists because we know it is not in the best interest of a democracy.
Alongside Guatemalan President Alejandro Giammattei, Harris announced efforts to root out corruption, create jobs, and stop smuggling schemes that have encouraged thousands to flee their homes.
We can turn this country into a country of opportunities.
In April alone, U.S. Border Patrol stopped more than 178,000 immigrants traveling from the region, the highest total in more than 2 decades.
This is a crisis that the Biden administration has created.
Paris Denard with the Republican National Committee says the policies of the Biden-Harris administration are the actual root of the problem.
Everything that they're doing as it relates to this border crisis has been wrong. And for 75 days, she has avoided going to the border. For 75 days, she has avoided having a press conference.
The White House insists both the vice president and the president will ultimately make a trip to the southern border, but have not set a date. In the meantime, Harris says the U.S. has a clear message to those considering making the dangerous journey.
Do not come.
That was Raquel Martin reporting. This was the first stop on the vice president's mission. Tomorrow she heads to Mexico. Humidity fills the air as we kick off the work week.
But the chance for rain remains as we head into the evening. Candice says more of the same is in store for tomorrow. Her full forecast is next.
Now, your first warn weather forecast with Chief Meteorologist Candice King.
Well, for some today, it's been heavy rainfall. For others, we've barely gotten a drop. That's just the nature of these showers and thunderstorms that have been pretty persistent for some over the last couple of hours. This is an area of low pressure, works in from the south. We've had some pretty heavy rain-producing thunderstorms as well, even some gusty winds that have come down with some of this activity. But for others, it's just been the sprinkles that we've been dealing with. One particular shower thunderstorm now working across parts of Interstate 88 from Ogle down to Lee County, moving into DeKalb County. Not moving a whole lot. You likely hear quite a bit of thunder there from the Rochelle, Creston, Malta area on southward. The storm losing a little bit of its height here over the last couple of hours, was peaking up to about 30,000 feet, now down just to under 20,000 feet. So the threat for any hail or even gusty winds kind of going down with that particular cell, but it is going to produce some heavy rainfall, and it's not moving much. Notice that fairly stationary as it drifts up to the north at about 5 to 10 miles per hour. A lot of the activity kind of redeveloping a little more to the south, and that's kind of the trend here that we'll see over the next couple of hours before this activity begins to fade away a bit as we go through this evening. Now, these showers and thunderstorms are a result of a cutoff low pressure system. You can actually see that kind of pinwheeling here near the St. Louis area. This is going to continue to drift northward over the next several hours. So we'll see this activity kind of blossom again as we go into the afternoon tomorrow with the peak heating of the day. And just like the thunderstorms we had today, very efficient at producing some heavy rainfall. The darker greens and even some blues, rainfall totals that have been estimated over an inch. And it's been a beneficial and needed rain, but notice how sporadic that is. And over the drought-stricken areas, we really haven't seen a lot. So again, it's not a beneficial and drought-busting rain. The reason why we've had so much rain, or at least the heavy nature of it, look at these dew point numbers, upper 60s, low 70s. So more of a tropical air mass from what we've had here these last several days. So isolated showers, they will continue as we go through this evening. Coverage will decrease once we get into the overnight hours, really after about sunset. Once we see that occur, we're actually going to get maybe an isolated shower 2, 3, 4 o'clock tomorrow, and then some fog developing, especially in the areas that we can clear out some of the cloud cover from where we had. So tomorrow morning, kind of a muggy, moist, kind of damp start to our Tuesday, and you'll notice that fog there as well. We'll get rid of some of that heating of the day. We pop up those isolated showers and thunderstorms. Again, coverage not going to be widespread, but as that low pressure system comes a little closer to us tomorrow, we might see a bit more of the scattered activity, which would be helpful and useful. As we go into the day on Wednesday, isolated showers, thunderstorms again. Live look with our Mercial SkyTrack camera out in Rochelle, looking off to the northwest. You see a couple of showers there up to the north. Temperatures in the 70s and the 80s. We're at 86 degrees tomorrow, up to 88 on Wednesday, 89 on Thursday. Back into the low 90s once we head into Friday. And it looks like, guys, that heat continues into next week. And if you're looking for more rain, kind of getting into that dry pattern again.
Looks like we'd better get used to this. Candice, thank you.
Scott's in next to talk sports. White Sox manager Tony La Russa is now the second winningest manager in Major League Baseball history.
Scott looks at what might have been if La Russa had managed his entire career.
Now, the Napleton Sports Desk with Sports Director Scott Leber.
Tony La Russa is now the second winningest Major League manager in Major League Baseball history. He moved ahead of John McGraw yesterday when the Sox beat the Tigers. La Russa's teams won 2,764 games with him as manager. That's a remarkable accomplishment. Doesn't mean he's the greatest manager in baseball today or even close to it, but his entire body of work is something to marvel at. Just the fact he's been able to keep a job long enough to reach so many wins is an achievement. His chances of becoming the winningest manager in baseball are nil. He still trails Connie Mack by almost 1,000 wins. La Russa said yesterday Mack's record of 3,731 wins is unattainable, and he's right on that. But let's take a closer look at some of these numbers. So Mack finished with 3,731 career wins. La Russa's current total, 2,764 wins. However, had he managed those 10 seasons the last 10 years when he didn't, and let's say his teams over those 10 years averaged 85 wins per season, which is a modest number, that would have given La Russa 850 more wins, which would have been only a little more than 100 fewer than what Mack has. That would have left La Russa with 3,614 wins. So at that pace, he would have had a really good chance to break that record at some point next season. Just something to ponder there. All right, let's also ponder what Rockford native Chad Candice is doing in NASCAR. He's currently the vice president of competition for Hendrick Motorsports, a new job that he took over last September after his long run with Hendrick as a crew chief. Well, lately Hendrick Motorsports has been on a tear. Yesterday, Hendrick drivers took the top 4 spots in Sonoma. Hendrick drivers have taken the top 2 spots in the last 4 races. That's never been done before. And Hendrick drivers have won 7 of 16 NASCAR races this season. Is it a coincidence or is it the Chad Candice effect? Candice has definitely had a big effect. After a couple down years as crew chief the last couple of years, he has regained his winning touch that saw him win a record 7 Cup championships as a crew chief. Chad Candice is one of the all-time greats in NASCAR, and we're seeing it again. That's my take. We'll be right back.
The Bushmore interactive radar this evening continues to show those scattered showers and isolated thunderstorms. Those will continue through sunset. Watch for some fog tomorrow morning. More of the same tomorrow afternoon.
All right, thanks, Candice.
And thank you for spending some of your time with us. Stay safe.